is Maria Freda. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission at Walnut Hill School for the Arts. This is my 9th year at the school, and I'm delighted to announce that my own daughter will be coming in the fall as a writing, film, and media arts student. That's how much we just really love the school. Just some quick facts about Walnut Hill. We're located on 45 acres of land in Natick, Massachusetts, which is just 17 miles outside of Boston. We do have about 290 young artists here that represent 26 states and 18 countries. 80% of our students do board here on campus, so they live in our dorms. We have 7 dormitories, and then about 20% of our students are local young artists who commute to school each day. We have lots of clubs and lots of leadership opportunities for students. And what's really wonderful about Walnut Hill is that we are 127 years in existence. So we have many traditions that are quite beautiful and rooted in the history of the school. And then we also have a commitment to diversity, inclusion, and social justice. So what does it mean to be an arts high school? We know that for some folks, they think of an art high school and they think that the students maybe aren't as academically successful, but they're successful in the arts. But at Walnut Hill, we believe that you can do both, that you don't have to sacrifice your academics to be an artist, and you don't have to sacrifice the arts to be an academic. So we offer a dual curriculum program. And what that means is that students choose one art major that they focus on while also in conjunction taking college preparatory classes. So we help the students find their balance by doing half of the day in the arts and half of the day in their academics. We also offer here the Art 360 program, which is a program where students can choose to take one class outside of their art major. So a dancer might take a photography class, or a visual artist might take a dance class. We also offer classes in psychology and podcasting or ukulele playing. So it's a chance for the kids to just explore something where they can have fun and be free and collaborate on a creative level. And as I said, the artists are inspired by each other. So for a theater student to see a beautiful visual art show or a beautiful film or a dance, they're inspiring each other's work all the time to be the best that they can be within their arts. We have, again, a state-of-the-art art facilities with many dance studios, a ceramic studio, a textile studio, theaters and stages and black boxes where the students can create beautiful art. And the goal of Walnut Hill is that when students leave Walnut Hill, they don't feel that now all they can do is paint. We want to make sure that they have lots of options. They've explored the sciences and the maths and the different art forms so that when they leave, they have lots of options as they move forward in college. So our college preparatory academic program is very similar to many of the independent schools and public schools in the United States. So our graduation requirements are very much in line with a lot of the other independent schools you'll see in the area, where students are taking, their 4 English classes. They're required to take 2 history classes, 3 years of mathematics, 2 years of laboratory science, 2 consecutive years of a world language. Unless you are an English language learner, you have the choice of whether or not you want to add an additional language to the other 2 or more that you already have. And then we have some exciting news that we always offer electives as well in the academic electives, but this year we are partnered with Global Online Academy so that students can also have a wider selection like Japanese or studying, the history of the Middle East. So that's been an exciting addition this year. And most students will take classes beyond our requirement. So for example, we only require 3 years of math to graduate, but many of our students, if not all, will take 4 years of mathematics. With science, you're only required to take 2 laboratory sciences, but most students will take biology, chemistry, physics, and then in their senior year, they take a science elective such as anatomy or food science. So our students here really challenge themselves both artistically and academically. Even if whether they take that food science class I told you about, or maybe they want to take a humanities elective, like we have art history, though they will get credit for that and it goes on their transcripts. And if they take a class at Global Online Academy, I actually have a student from China who's going to be taking Japanese next year through Global Online Academy. She will get credit for that and it will go on her transcript. So
Gotcha.
Colleges will see that she came to this country as an English language learner. She is now proficient in English. She has taken actually every year, she's gone beyond what she's required. So she's taken 4 years of science. And now they will also see that even though she wasn't required to learn a 3rd language, because this will be a 3rd language for her, she's choosing to take Japanese. And those are the kinds of kids that we have who come here. They're pushing themselves beyond what's expected of them.
Gotcha.
It's really great.
I believe so.
Yeah. So as I said, we are a dual program. So you are majoring in one art form while you're taking your college preparatory classes. And so the majors, the art majors that students can choose from, we have dance. And our dance program is actually partnered with Boston Ballet School. So when students come to Walnut Hill and major in dance, they're actually going through Boston Ballet School's professional division. So in that sense, a lot of dance majors will graduate from Walnut Hill and go directly into the professional dance world or dance company, because for dancers, retirement is much younger than for some of the other art majors. When students come and major in music, they're actually partnered with the New England Conservatory, and they can major in any classical instrument, jazz vocals, classical voice, or classical composition. So there's a lot of programs within the music department, which is called New England Conservatory at Walnut Hill. We're actually the only high school in the United States that's partnered with a professional dance company. And the fact that we are partnered with New England Conservatory for our music program, it's just our school's way of taking advantage of this proximity to Boston and New York, right? So we just have access to some incredible music programs and art programs because we're located so close to Boston. And then for writing, film, and media arts, that is another one of our majors. We say that is a major for our storytellers. And many of the faculty are working professionally within the film and media arts. One of the writing classes is script writing, and it is taught by Ronan Noon, who's a published playwright, and his plays are often performed in the Boston area. We have you can be a theater major here. Or a visual art major. Again, taking advantage of that Boston connection, we have incredible visiting artists and guest speakers and master classes taught in each of these divisions by very well recognized artists, internationally known artists. It's because of our reputation and because of our proximity to the city. The other part that makes Walnut Hill very, very special is that we have a college counseling curriculum. So for freshman and sophomore year, the college counselors really want students to focus on doing really well academically in their classes and adjusting to their pre-professional art programs. But in junior year is when you really start to work directly with a college counselor. Walnut Hill, it is part of the experience. It doesn't come for an additional fee or anything like that. And so they always say that in the college counseling office, they see the process as matchmaking. So finding the right match for your child. And they're a proud member and in good standing with the National Association of College Admissions Counseling and the Boston Independent School College Counseling Association. And because each arts discipline requires a really specialized preparation, our college counselors are very seasoned in being able to specialize within those art forms. So a dance major who wants to continue with dance is going to have a very different process than a theater student or a music student, or maybe someone who's decided in their time here that they want to go into medicine or science, or take a year off where they do some sort of an independent study. And so we specialize in all of those areas, and every student gets their personal college counselor who works with them starting in junior year. So I put here that in junior year, you're introduced to your college counselor, you start meeting monthly, you're given assignments. We also offer special workshops in essay writing, how to fill out your common application, resume building, and they start preparing you on your art supplement that a lot of your colleges will require if you go into your art form. And then in 12th grade, that's really when the counselors are working with you really closely to find the right match for you. And once you get into school, they're also there to help you make the best decision. We have great relationships with colleges, universities, and conservatories from all over the world. And pre-COVID, in the fall, we would have over 100 college visits every year. This year we did it, but it was on Zoom. But we still have those visits so that students can learn about colleges and universities they might not have ever heard of, but that specialize in something that they want to do. So we have 4 college counselors. So there would probably be around 15 students per college counselor, depending on the size of the class.
Okay.
Yeah. Our application process, we really are looking for kids who are successful both in their art and in academics. So when we're looking at students who are applying to Walnut Hill, we do have a certain standard of where they stand academically, grade-wise. Our college preparatory high school program is rather rigorous. And because it's introducing them to content in a really rich and meaningful way, a lot of students come here and discover that they want to do something beyond their arts, or maybe they want to have that option to do their art, but also study something else. So right now, about 80% of our students will go off to study their art form, even if it's at Harvard, right, to study theater. They will go off to study their art form at some of these prestigious schools that you see on this list. But about 20% of our students do go off and study something outside of their art. So they might go into the sciences. And so that's why you'll see some schools like Harvard and Yale and Tufts. So when the students are in their academic classes, those teachers are going to treat those students as if they're preparing them for college or university. But when those students are in their pre-professional arts programming, those teachers are treating those students as if they are ready to work professionally in the arts or go off to conservatory. So they're really getting both all the time. I just wanted to focus a little bit on the services that we provide for international students. We're really committed to providing a supportive environment for international students. We offer lots of programming and support systems designed to promote a healthy and easy transition for students. We recognize that you're not just coming to a new school and having to make new friends and engage in a rather rigorous program. We recognize that you might still be learning the language. There's also a lot of culture shock around being far away from home or not having the food that your family makes. So we do offer a lot of support in those areas. Of course, we offer F1 student visa support, SEVIS support. We have an international student coordinator who is constantly in communication with parents abroad through WeChat. She runs a lot of Zoom programming. She also works with the students to make sure that they're adjusting correctly. And she offers a class called Bridge to the Hill, which is her way of helping students adjust to the culture of Walnut Hill, the culture of the United States boarding school experience, but also making sure that their well-being is being cared for. We have some international student representatives. Those students are elected by their peers, and they offer lots of fun activities like cooking nights and film festivals so that the community at large, the domestic community, can learn about the other cultures that we have the opportunity to get to know while they're here on campus. So our international student representatives do a wonderful job of having flag ceremonies, movie nights, field trips to different Asian markets, or the museum when there's a special art exhibit. So those students are, as I said, elected by their peers, and they represent the international student body and run lots of activities to educate our community.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So with the international student support, we also offer a new international student orientation that starts usually a couple of days before school starts, so that the international students get a chance to be on campus, get to know their international peers, adjust to the time change before school starts and all the domestic students arrive. Again, cultural adjustment support, and we have lots of campus programs around to support international students. So when we are looking for an applicant, a strong applicant for our program, we are looking for students who've shown that they have a passion for the art form that they're applying for. And so many of our students are not beginners in that art form. They don't have to be totally accomplished either, because we're a high school, but they are showing that they've been dedicated either through performances or classes or tutors or coaches in that area. So that's what we're looking for artistically. Academically, we are looking for students who've been successful in their academic program. For the Duolingo assessment, we want to make sure that students have a beginning or intermediate level of English. We don't really have a certain score that we look for, because we feel that we also get a lot of knowledge about someone's language ability through the admission interview. So really, we're looking for someone who's passionate about the arts, passionate about their academics, and they have an open mind for a new experience and to be inspired by their fellow young artists. Our boarding program is really strong, and we've actually been a boarding program since we were founded 127 years ago. So we do take that role as, parents, while their students are away from home, very seriously. We recognize that students are missing out on some, really precious moments with their families, such as learning how to cook, do laundry, and get that like a warm hug and maybe a nice snack. So we provide that here. Our dorm parents become a second parent to your child. And so while they're here in the dorms, they usually are in either a double or a triple. So they'll have a roommate, and we have a process to help students get matched with the right roommate. And I would say 99% of the time we've made a perfect match. And in that situation where the match was not perfect, we work with the students to resolve their issues, or if needed, move them. We would never want someone to be in a living situation where they're not comfortable going to their room. And then within the dorms, we have dorm meetings and dorm events. The dorm parents provide snacks every evening, homework support. They help them make sure that their rooms stay clean and hygienic, that they're changing their sheets, doing their laundry, not keeping any food in the room. If a student were to get sick in the middle of the night, we have an administrator on call 24 hours a day, as well as the dorm parent, where they will take your child to the hospital if needed, or make sure that they get the medicine they need. We have a health center on campus where we can do, actually, we've been doing COVID tests every single Tuesday for all students, faculty, staff. We can do flu tests, flu shots, anything that you really need. We have a nurse who is on site.
That's great.
Yeah, they're really taken care of. And if someone has an injury, usually in the dance department, we have a physical therapist who comes to campus, so you don't have to leave to get those services. We have a fitness center where students enjoy, staying active, and we're constantly running activities. And in the wake of COVID, some of the activities have happened mostly on campus. So last Monday, we had a big carnival for our students with inflatables. We brought baby animals to campus, and they did lots of fun things. But the other night taught a group of seniors how to cook pasta and tiramisu because I'm of Italian heritage. So I want those seniors to leave Walnut Hill knowing how to make themselves a delicious meal. Tomorrow night, I'm driving a group of kids to a local mini golf course. There's a local market called Tilly's, and they close every Sunday night 1 hour early so that our students can shop without being exposed to a lot of outsiders during COVID. But movie nights and performances. We have performances all the time. We had 2 plays this past weekend. I've been to a ballet show, jazz concerts. We have prom. This year, we're modifying it a little bit. It's going to be outside, and we're only having the 11th and 12th graders attend to limit the numbers. But we're going forward with prom and graduation. And we want the kids to study academics, study the arts, and also have an opportunity to grow and have fun. So safety, all of our dorms and our buildings are locked. The only way you can enter is using your ID badge, which has like a scanner that unlocks the door. We also have a security team that works on campus 24 hours a day.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and they have rounds where they have to check certain locations throughout the night. I actually live on campus, and I see them walking through my yard, going into buildings, checking on doors, and just making sure that the kids are safe. We also have the dorm parents who are checking in on kids throughout the night. Again, making sure that rooms are clean. It's really a hygiene and safety issue to make sure that kids are showering, that their sheets are clean, that they aren't leaving trash in the room. That is something that happens regularly here. So health and safety is one of our main priorities. We also have a school counselor that checks on kids, mental health. And that is something that we take very, very seriously. When they come to us, they're kids, they're young. This is not college, it's a high school. So we have a lot of programs in place to help support them. So in freshman year, all of the students go through a program called Foundations. And Foundations is giving students the foundations on how to transition from middle school and being at home with their families to being away from home at a high school. So they learn things about, drugs and alcohol, suicide prevention, wellness and nutrition. I'm trying to think of all the things that they learn, but they also learn about the traditions at Walnut Hill and how to be healthy and safe.